Today we're going to learn how to solve multi-step inequalities, just building off of what we did with 1 and 2-step inequalities. So here I have negative 3 times 3x minus 2 is less than or equal to 42. Before I try to isolate x on one side of the inequality, I'm going to simplify as much as I can. So in this case, I'm going to distribute this negative 3, and I get negative 9x plus 6 is less than or equal to 42. Now that I can't simplify any further, it's time to isolate my variable. I need to eliminate this 6 and this negative 9. Since the 6 is being added, that comes first in reverse PEMDAS. So the inverse of addition is subtraction. I'm going to subtract by 6 because that's what I want to eliminate. I do that to both sides, and I'm left with, on my left side, negative 9x is less than or equal to 42 minus 6 is 36. Now I've got to get rid of this negative 9. Since there's no operating sign between the negative 9 and the x, I know it's being multiplied. So I'm going to get rid of multiplication by dividing, and I'm going to divide by negative 9. I'll make sure I do that on both sides, and I'm left with, on my left side, x. Since we divided by a negative number, you've got to remember that you've got to switch the inequality sign. So since it was less than or equal to, now it's going to be greater than or equal to, and 36 divided by negative 9 is a negative 4. Now I'm going to come over here to my answer blank, and since x is already included, all I have to type in is x is greater than or equal to negative 4, and I'm good to go. Example number 2. Negative 2 times x minus 7 is less than 3 times x plus 3. Before I do anything, I'm going to simplify. So since I can distribute on both sides of this inequality, I'm going to, and I have negative 2x plus 14 is less than 3x plus 9. Now I've got variables on both sides of the inequality, so I've got to isolate the variable on one side. So I'm going to look at the numbers in front of the variable, and I'm going to choose the side that has the larger number, and I'm going to make that my variable side. So the coefficient 3 and the coefficient of negative 2, since 3 is bigger than negative 2, I'm going to make this side my variable side and this side my number side. I'm going to get rid of all variables on my number side and all numbers on my variable side. So I'm going to start by eliminating negative 2x. How do you get rid of negative 2x? You just add 2x to both sides. And I'm left with, on my left side, 14 is less than, since I can combine like terms, I'm going to, 5x plus 9. Now it's time to isolate x. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate this plus 9. I'm going to eliminate it by subtracting 9, and I'm going to subtract 9 to the other side, and I'm left with 5 is less than 5x. Now I've got to eliminate this 5. Since it's being multiplied, I'm going to divide, and I've got 1 is less than x. Since the computer has x on the left side, I've got to flip this inequality. So 1 is less than x is the same thing. I'm going to come up here and type that in. X is greater than 1. Example number 3. Negative 8x plus 8 is less than negative 7 times x minus 7, sorry. I'm going to simplify first, so I've got negative 8x plus 8 is less than negative 49x plus 49. I'm going to choose the side that has the larger number in front of the x variable. Since negative 8 is larger than 49, this is my variable side, this is my number side. First thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to eliminate this negative 49x from my number side by adding 49x. Do that to both sides, 49x. And I have negative 8x plus 49x is just 41x plus 8 is less than 49. Now I can use inverse operations to get x by itself. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. And I have 41x is less than 41. Now I've got to get rid of the 41. Since it's being multiplied, I'm going to divide, and I'm left with x is less than 1. I'm going to come over here to my answer blank and just type in x is less than 1. Example 4. X plus 3 is less than 13 minus x. I don't need to simplify here, so I'm going to choose the variable side since a positive x is bigger than a negative x, or a 1 is bigger than negative 1. This is my variable side. This is my number side. I'm going to eliminate my variable on my number side by adding x. I'm going to add x here. Now I'm going to simplify if 2x plus 3 is less than 13. Now I'm going to eliminate the addition by subtracting 3 from both sides of the inequality, and I'm left with 2x is less than 13 minus 3 is 10. And now I need to divide to get rid of the 2 that's being multiplied, so I'm going to divide by 2, and x is less than 5. Since x is on my left side, I just have to come over here to my answer blank and type in less than 5. Example 5. 3x minus 3 minus 4x is less than negative 11 minus 2x. I'm going to simplify before I do anything. I can combine like terms here, and I get a negative 1x minus 3 is less than negative 2x minus 11. I just commuted those in standard form. I'm going to choose the side that's got the larger coefficient. Negative 1 is larger. So I'm going to eliminate this negative 2x on my number side by adding 2x. Add 2x. Simplify your like terms. I've got just an x, or 1x left, minus 3 is less than negative 11. I'm going to eliminate the subtraction by adding a 3. Add a 3. And I've got x is less than negative 8. Since x is already on my left side, I just have to come over to my answer blank and type in less than negative 8. Example 6. Negative 8 times x plus 6 minus 7 times x minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 8x minus 8x. I'm going to simplify. Once I simplify, I've got 8x minus 48 minus 7x plus 35. I made sure that I distributed the negative when I distributed the 7 is greater than or equal to negative 16x. I'm going to simplify again. My like terms on the left side is negative 15x minus 13 is greater than or equal to negative 16. Now I've got to 16x, sorry. Choose the side that's got the larger number in front of x. Since it's this side, this is my variable side, my number side. I'm going to eliminate my variable from my number side by adding 16x plus 16x. I'm left with x minus 13 is greater than or equal to 0. Get rid of the minus 13 by adding 13. And I've got x is greater than or equal to 13. I'm going to come over here to my answer blank. Since x is already on the left side, x is greater than or equal to 13. Example number 7. Negative times 8x minus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 8x plus 2. I'm going to simplify first. I'm going to distribute this negative. If you want to make it a negative 1 to visualize it, that's fine. I get negative 8x plus 5 is greater than or equal to negative 8x plus 2. Since both of the numbers in front of my variable are the same, I can essentially choose whatever side I want. I'm going to choose the left side because I know in the end I need x to be on the left side to put it in the answer blank. So I'm going to eliminate this negative x by adding x, 8x, add 8x. Here I have 8x plus a negative 8x, which simplifies to 0x plus 5 is greater than or equal to 2. 0 times x is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. So I have 5 is greater than or equal to 2. Since there's no variable here, you just have to figure out whether or not the inequality is true. Since 5 is in fact greater than or equal to 2, then in my answer blank, my answer is all real numbers. Example number 8. 5x is greater than or equal to 5 times x minus 1 plus x. I'm going to simplify. I've got 5x minus 5 plus x. Now I'm going to combine my like terms on this side. And I've got 5x is greater than or equal to 6x minus 5. Now I'm going to choose the side that's got the larger number. Minus 5x, minus 5x, combine like terms, and I've got x minus 5, add 5, add 5, 5 is greater than or equal to x. Now I've got to just flip my inequality so x is on the left side, so I have x is less than or equal to 5, type that bad boy in, x is less than or equal to 5. Example number 9. Negative 4 times 8x minus 7 is less than or equal to negative 228. Negative 32x plus 28 is less than or equal to negative 228. Now I can start isolating x by eliminating these numbers. I'm going to minus 28, minus 28. And what I'm left with on the left side is negative 32. X is less than or equal to negative 256. Now I've got to divide since the negative 32 is being multiplied. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 32. When I divide by this negative, I'm going to make sure that I flip my sign. So it was pointed that way. Now it's going to be pointed this way. And I'm left with on the left side, x is greater than or equal to negative 256 divided by negative 32 is going to be a positive number. And 256 divided by 32 is 8. I'm going to come over here to my answer blank, and x is greater than or equal to 8. Example number 10. Negative 3 times 4 plus 3x is less than negative 48. I'm going to distribute, so I get negative 12 minus 9x is less than negative 48. I'm going to eliminate 12 by adding it. Since it's a negative, I'm going to add it. I'm going to add it to both sides. What I'm left with here is just negative 9x is less than or equal to a negative 36. Now I'm going to eliminate the negative 9 by dividing by negative 9. When I divide by negative, I got to make sure I flip the sign, so I'm left with x is greater than or equal to positive 4. I'm going to come over here to my answer blank. X is greater than 4. Example number 11. 456 is greater than 8 times negative 8x plus 2 minus 8. I'm going to simplify before I do anything. So I have 456 is greater than negative 64x plus 16 minus 8. I can combine like terms here. So I have negative 64x plus 8. And I can eliminate the addition first by subtracting 8 to both sides. And I have 448 is greater than negative 64x. Now I've got to eliminate the negative 64 by dividing by negative 64 to both sides. When I divide by this negative, again, make sure that you flip the sign. So I'm going to flip it this way. And I have 7 is less than x. Now because I need x on the left side, I'm just going to turn this inequality around, and I have 7 is greater than, or x is greater than 7. I'm going to come up here to my answer blank. X is greater than 7.